back. It is time for more fan testing. Andy is here. We have been blessed to have him for the past couple fan days. I have been making it a point to try to do fan testing with Andy since we haven't had that luxury for probably a few years now. So there's Andy over there. I don't know if you can see him. And we got some very interesting things happening today. So first of all, we have an Encon Monarch. And you guys have probably heard me talk before because I normally hate cheap 90s fans, and I normally hate white and brass, but I have an exception for cheap 90s white brass and cane for whatever reason, and I guess it is specific reason, specific childhood installs. That combination appeals to me, and there was a shoe store in a mall near where I grew up that had two of these, this exact model, and so I'd always wanted one, but I wasn't going to pay a lot. I still want a new in-box one. But this one was free, not new in box. Second thing is it has the Jeremy Mulligan light kit, which is probably my least favorite light kit. But it's another very definitively 90s thing, and kind of similar to the youth center light kits. And then I have these new LED bulbs with this faux stained glass that you can see. There's 3 different designs, 1 different design in each light. I'm gonna do a workbench video on them, or like a testing video on the workbench, not like a lecture. But you know how I do flame bulbs and other things like that. We're going to do a video of that on the workbench in the future. But in the meantime, I wanted to try them in this video here. I think they're really cool. Note the faux stained glass. One of them is kind of pointy, one of them is round, and the other one is kind of angular, like a golf ball. I really don't care for the fact that they're not dimmable. I'm really annoyed by that because for me to use them in my house, they have to be dimmer than this, and they are not. Here, you want to go ahead and show the test rig, Andy? Okay. You can just put them on the solid state control and show how they don't dim. Just hit solid state and then go to... Like I said, I'll do a whole video of this on the workbench later, but just...
Yeah, they do not, they just start flickering like that.
So if they come up with a dimmable version, I will be over the moon. Otherwise, they're really cool. Anything you want to say about this, Andy?
I mean, it's a pretty, like you say, pretty generic 90s fan. It's like almost like a cheap version of the Hunter Passport 3 with the pretzel brackets and the filigree sideband. But it's definitely, lower end kind of fan. But
I assume it was meant to be a panel copy.
Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, the light bulbs definitely make this worth testing.
Do you have any place that you could install these light bulbs?
I
gotta think about where.
I could maybe. The only problem is right now I only have places for 2 of them. There are 2 lights that hang over the center island counter in my apartment's kitchen. That. Maybe they could go in.
I'm gonna brainstorm places I could use them that wouldn't require them to be dimmable, but off the top of my head, everywhere I could think of, this would be too bright for them to be, But we'll see. And these are an Amazon product, so anything you want to say about the fan? You already talked about the fan, didn't you? And you didn't see that Morgan shoes, at least you don't remember it, even despite growing up in the same city. But interestingly enough, you grew up on the east side. I grew up on the west side. Now I live on the east side, and you live on the west side.
Yep.
So, okay, well, let's take it to low.
Okay, high switch is already
Yep.
on. So.
Lamp is off. Solid state is off. We should be good to go.
Okay. You want to just leave the light on?
No, because then it'll with our testing data. Now, I thought that this was a slightly earlier version that was not the cheap worst version of these. Seeing it up, I think this might be the cheap worst version. It looked like it had a slightly fatter motor housing when it was on the ground. Now seeing it up, I think this is probably... But the ones in the shoe store were the cheapest version. I would really like to find the earlier version that was 5-blade. Because the earliest versions were 4-blade. And then they went to 5-blade, and then they went to 4-5, and at some point they went to the very cheapest factory. So...
Alright, we got 0.18 on low, 20.7 watts.
So it's going to be a whole power factor, yeah.
No, not quite.
I mean, Pete would call that a whole power factor.
Okay.
Metal.
Okay, we want to do revolutions. RPMs. Okay. Hold on. Okay, 268.3. 271. And 272.
So that's around 50 RPM.
Okay. Seems about average.
Yeah, it's not a bad low speed.
Okay, take her to medium.
If anybody badly wants this, let me know. I'll probably throw it in the for sale trade playlist just in case. Again, I've always kind of wanted one of these. I would prefer to have it new in box unless I have a place to install it though. But if anybody badly, if this is like a really important find for anybody, I'm sure we could work something out. But otherwise, I'll hang on to it. Like I said, you know.
Okay, 0.37 amps on low, 44.5 watts, and 0.99 power factor, so yeah. $597, or actually maybe $598. 609 and 608.
So about 120. The range of speeds is actually pretty decent. It's a fairly slow low and a fairly fast medium, which is what I like. The question is how fast does it do on high? Got pretty thin blades, so we know it's not going to be amazing on high, but as long as it's not super slow, it might actually be a good performer.
Yeah. This one light arm close to me is vibrating quite a bit, but the others, I think the only reason this one's moving is because the vibrations are being transferred, but this one seems to be pretty steady.
Interesting.
Okay, I go to high. Run 0.6 amps.
It's actually a little higher than I would have thought. These normally cheap fans draw less than half an amp, but I've been a little encouraged that it draws a little more because it means it's a little more powerful.
78.8 watts.
So low power factor again, or at least close to.
I mean, again, it's harder to get a good feel for air movement in here than it was in the attic in Oregon, but I mean, for what it is, it's not terrible.
No, I think it's in the spinner motor hunter category. It's definitely not in the K55 category. So do you think is that 200, less than 200, or more than 200?
I'm gonna say less.
I'll say at 200.
Okay, 841, 854, or 855, and 852.
So we're on 170, so definitely less than 200. So not an amazing performer, but not horrible. Some of these were incredibly noisy, and this one is not. It's got a little bit of a hum on medium and low. Actually silent on high.
Yeah.
So
I think what hum there is probably comes from the light.
yeah. The hum on medium and low is the coil taps. SMCs are notorious for that as well. At least the ones that did not use capacitors for speed control. The black motor SMCs.
I guess I can leave the high on and just cut it off here. That's how we do it.
Yeah, easiest for spin. It doesn't really matter because either way we got to turn it to low for reverse. In fact, you can do that now. You can set the pull chain to low and this reverse switch to reverse.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned or not, this was a curb find. So, I'm, happy with it for that for sure. I had an opportunity to get one new in box but it was like an hour drive. They wouldn't ship it, and it was definitely the last cheapest version. So I ended up passing on it. I kind of regret it, but not really, because I'm still holding out hope that I'll find the version that I'm looking for.
Speaking of curb finds, we still got to figure out whatever happened to that Casablanca Panama that I swear I would have given it to you because that's the only thing I would have done with it. It was in the free bin at the Habitat West in like 2014.
I remember the Panama. I remember it being in your storage.
Yep.
I don't remember taking it. If I did take it, it probably just got lumped in with all the other Panamas and things that I was trying to get rid of. But maybe it got taken to Fanimation and given away.
Maybe.
If you got a polished brass Panama for me for little or nothing, then thank Andy.
Okay, I think we're ready for a little reverse here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have come with the IT. I think it was the IT11 control.
Yeah, W11.
Yeah.
I remember the fan. I don't remember it being anywhere but your storage, which isn't to say that we never took it out of there. It
had integrated light kit with the glass.
The K4S.
It was complete except for the blade to flywheel screws.
Are there any other? Did we give it to Pete?
Maybe. Although it doesn't seem like his type of fan.
Oh, but for a while there, it was definitely this type of fan. Maybe less so now. But in the early days of Pete collecting any K55 Casablanca, he would have been overjoyed for it.
Yeah, maybe he's got it then.
I mean, if he has it, there's a good chance that he gave it or traded it to somebody else too. But we'll solve the mystery at least, because I'm curious as well. I know I would have avoided taking it if at all possible, just because another polished brass Panama is not very high on my list. But rather than leave it behind when you moved, I would have taken it for sure.
All right, let's check out what we're doing here on point state. Same current draw, low reverse. Same wattage. I'm sure same power factor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wouldn't worry about checking everything till we get to high. You can. It's certainly not going to hurt anything.
Here's medium. Definitely some hum there.
Yeah.
The other one I want to track down is that Homestead, that 6-blade Homestead from the Habitat in Mason City, Iowa. So I know I gave that to you.
If it's the one I'm thinking. Was it polished brass 52-inch?
I'm thinking it was 52-inch, but I think it was more likely antique brass.
Okay. If I didn't test it already, then it's on the shelves over there. On that side, there's a few Homesteads over there that I never got a chance to test before the pandemic and I got sick and everything else that kind of backlogged testing.
This would have been in like 2014 as well, so it probably got into one of the banana boxes.
Maybe then, but if it made its way to the banana boxes, then I would have done a video of it, and we'll be able to look at my videos.
Maybe I'll have to find it somewhere.
Yeah. If I didn't get a chance to film it, but it predated me living here, then it would be in the garage storage on the shelves.
Okay, so we got 0.37 on medium reverse.
I remember you picking it at a Homestead, and I remember asking you to do so because it was one that I wanted. So that one is definitely here somewhere. I like K55 Homesteads.
Okay, let's go to high.
We got a workbench video on Homestead coming out soon too.
So stay tuned for that.
You have any requests for workbench videos, Andy?
I mean, you and Brian kind of did what would have been my number one request anyway, so.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were looking for that, and it was I was surprised at how much information I was able to find independent of Brian.
Okay, same draw, 0.6 amp on high reverse, 70.8 watts, power factor 0.98.
Looks slower in reverse. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably not too far, not too much. So.
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, 790, 797. 797 again. And yep, 797 again. We're
Yeah,
got the
160,
same
160.
exact reading, or almost within one. Plus or minus 0.5 either way, and 3 readings on that thing before.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The white blades, I think, tend to be a little better. Okay, well, hit the high switch and the reverse switch, and then you can stop it by hand. Where do you think it's going to start on the test rig?
I would say 2.
I think 2 is pretty fair. I'll say 3.
Yeah, these spinner motors usually don't take a whole lot of current.
No. 1 is possible, but I think it's a long shot.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go with 1. Could have sworn I tried there for a moment.
I think I see it.
There's 2.
2 is a definite.
0.1 amp. And it's not going to stall out.
No. No.
Okay, Pete. 3.15. 0.05 of an amp jump for 1 microfarad. Interesting. Yep. 0.2 for 4. 5.24. 6. 7. 8. 0.37. Skip to 10. 0.43. Okay. 12. 5. 6 amp?
Yeah. Or thereabouts.
Okay, so that's 20.56.
Interesting. So far, it seems to.
2.58. 24.59.
I wonder if it's just going to taper off. Sometimes they never go over, they just level off.
Okay, we got 0.6 at 30.
We'll hit the 40 switch. Hit the, yeah, let's see. Hit the high switch.
0.61. 0.60.
So it goes over by a nose hair.
Yep.
By a nose hair. It goes over. So, how horrible do you think this is going to be on the solid state?
Let's see, what are your standards? Silent, bedroom quiet, living room quiet,
And loud.
and loud. Okay. We're going to say living room.
I'm going to say loud, but with a very disappointed tone of voice. I hope that it's not.
Okay.
But these are, my expectations are not.
Dial back down. Okay. Solid state mode activated. And here we go. There we go. On 0.17.
I don't hear anything so far.
So far, so good.
I know. Sure would be nice to be wrong and it be silent.
No, there we go. I'm starting to hear a little bit hum from it.
I'm not hearing it yet, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
0.29. Oh yeah, definite.
Let's see what happens when we get into the medium land. Oh yeah, there it is. So far we're still in the living room range though. We're not.
Okay, that's 0.46. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely coming from the motor.
Yeah. The good news is it's not getting any louder than that. That seems to be where it tapers off. So it's still what we would call living room quiet. So you could use it in an area of your house where you weren't too sensitive about noise. But
okay, yep, that's full speed at 0.59, so just about matches its factory high speed.
yeah.
Not too bad. Okay, what else do we do with it? Anything else we need to do with it?
Can't do the true Rick test because these bulbs aren't dimmable. I believe cheap Kane 90s fans are moderately Rick, so this is probably wood grain station wagon. But I'm going to guess that it is 0% metal. So, did we do 0 to high? No, we didn't.
Oh yeah, that's what we gotta do.
Inrush, no inrush, small inrush.
I'm gonna say no inrush.
I'll say small.
Okay, and our target is 0.6 amp. Here we go.
Oh,
Big inrush. Ooh, I was way off.
yeah, it goes down to 0.60. Yeah, we both lost that one. Wow. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna try to squeeze one more fan in here today. So, guys, stay tuned to your screens. Thanks for watching. As always, this video has a sponsor. That sponsor is FanStick. Buy FanStick. Buy Lightstick.
Keep your money in FanStick.
Don't. Well, I don't even know how to do it. Don't.
Do not move your money from FanStick. FanStick is not in trouble.
FanStick also has a website now. So if you go to buyfanstick.com or fanstick.biz. So please support FanStick. I did buy both of those domains, by the way. Right now, they just redirect to my YouTube. But if you know anybody that knows how to make a really low-budget website, Alexa,
Okay.
garage on.
That'll be something.
Okay.
Alexa, garage fans high.
Okay.